Here at Raffles, we're actually an American school, so that means that we are using the United States standards. We have specialists that deliver special education in the areas of art, music, phys ed, and we also have world languages. So some of the options are Bahasa Melayu. We also have Mandarin for our native speakers, and we also have Mandarin for non-native speakers, which is pretty amazing. So not only are they learning English, but they get a third language. Okay, we have this outstanding co-curricular activities that we offer after school for students. It's free of charge. They could sign up for every day if they wanted to, and it changes from term to term, so they actually have exposure to many different activities. We also have this beautiful setting here in Malaysia. It's warm throughout the year. We have this amazing gym setting. We've got 3 different gyms. We've got pools and tennis courts. We've got a track and a full cafeteria. We've got 3 different playgrounds for our students. So the setting alone is just amazing for education. But then we also have native English speaking teachers here that deliver this American curriculum. So we've got teachers from Canada, the US, we have a lady from New Zealand, we've got South African teachers, and so the curriculum is delivered by teachers who are native speakers to English.
Plant scientist. A plant scientist is basically a scientist that studies plants and fruits and how they develop.
I teach grade 3, and currently I am using a lot of the visible thinking routines from the Harvard Education Center. They are extremely useful because it fosters critical thinking, and it's really fun for the students. Those are easy steps that we can follow that actually encourage students to learn about how to think about their thinking and metacognition. So I found extremely effective to gather all this evidence of their learning and how they're thinking, so I can plan ahead and build something that is for them and what they're interested about learning.
We're picking the top 3 on the mats, and of course Anna was always on the mat and cleans her stuff.
For pre-K, of course, we're following Common Core standards in the school that we are. The objectives, the goals are clearly laid out for the year, and then they're spanned out across 4 terms.
In pre-K and kindergarten, we want them to gain that really strong language-based foundation. So it's like building a house. You have the bottom bricks at the bottom, and once you build a house on top, it'll be there years to come. And so the language that we're doing is learning the letters and the sounds and understanding rhyme and onset, like where is the sound in the beginning, the middle, the ending of the word, how many syllables in a word.
Excellent part that I love about the school is the flexibility we have to be creative about how we get those outcomes. We don't have textbooks as much. Ours is more through play. Ours is more through videos and dancing. And of course, in the first term, we're looking at behavior and trying to get them to get along with each other, sharing, that sort of thing. Understanding how to properly display their emotions.
So through play, we want them to be able to socially, emotionally regulate themselves so that they're not having meltdowns. We want them to learn how to cooperate, be within a large group. We just need them to be socially aware, taking turns, sharing. That all needs to be in place before they enter grade 1, which is a huge academic year for their learning.
Much more clear. Perfect. That scale is a lot more clear because of the digital display.
My classroom layout, we only have 15 students, so this is really helpful. And I have more time to invest in every single child. Even the setup of our classroom, it's like the tables are organized in a way that I can actually look at everybody, they can look at each other and participate. So for example, if I'm applying a technique or a method like think, pair, share, they can easily pair up with partners and then share their thinking and then communicate to the whole group without any tension, without feeling any sort of judgment, because we are all together sitting up in a round environment, and that's super supportive of them.
So we're always appreciative of the lower class size. So what we can do with less students is, again, there's just more one-on-one attention. It does really help. Makes a big difference.
This is also another idea. Just make sure that when you write, you put marker, and I'm gonna use my rock again.
I want my students to feel inspired. Everything I plan for them is in order for them to have this aha moment of, okay, learning is actually possible and learning is easy. Because I do believe that kids are learning every single day, regardless if we are giving them a text to read or if they're on a playground. So I want them to feel confident that they can learn, anyone can learn, and I want them to feel inspired and to feel like what they're learning in the classroom is actually useful for something else in their lives. We were working on a visible thinking routine that we have. It's what I know, what I want to know, and what I learned. And this student last year, he was in shock because I actually showed them, look, this is how much you have learned from this lesson. And I do that intentionally. I leave like Post-its everywhere so they know what they have learned. And this kid stopped and was like, okay, Ms. Ferreira, now I understand. Learning can be easy. It's not that hard. It was like, yes, it's everywhere. It's right here. So I think that mind shift, that learning doesn't have to be hard all the time and you don't have to struggle because of that. I think that's when education turns possible and meaningful for the kids.
This school has a very, very impressive library for books, one of the best I've seen. It's an excellent book on, at first, how a guest might be unwelcomed or might seem like an annoyance, and at the end they save the day.
Currently, right now, we have our pre-K students up to grade 4 using the iPad. We are a Mac platform here at the school, and so grade 5 students are required to bring their own MacBook. The reason behind that is that we want to set the grade 5 students up for success because they have to use their Mac once they hit middle school. This is the year of them trying to figure out how do they find their information, how do they use it to enhance their learning so that they are totally familiar with that when they move into grade 6. The iPads that we use in the classroom, I'll give you an example. So we use the A to Z reading program. Once the teacher determines through a running record what level they're at, within that system of A to Z reading, they can assign them a letter. And so then the program will open up the letter prior so that the student has access to a variety of readings. So there's nonfiction text in there, there's fiction text in there that they can choose from. And so when they open it up, it's basically a book. It's got, like, depending on the level, they've got pictures in there and they've got the words at the bottom.
The GLOs are part of our classroom culture. So in grade 3, of course, communication skills will look different from grade 5s. In grade 3, we do a lot of communication skills while we are working on projects or while kids are prompts in the classroom and I want them to discuss about something.
So first of all, GLOs are the general learning outcomes, okay? And so they sit with our mission statement. We've got critical thinking skills, we've got character, organizational skills, and communication skills. Inquiry-based learning is what we do. So within that, they need to communicate with their friends. They have to use their research skills. They need to be organized to figure out what it is that they want to present. It lends really well to science and social studies. And so most of the time, it's usually hands-on activities.
The curriculum provides a structure and foundation. So when students need to learn math, English, or literacy, we need to have this guideline in order to promote deep knowledge and learning. Organizational skills in grade 3 looks like following the schedule. Are you ready with your materials? Is your table clean and organized? Is your writing look tidy and needy? So these are all aspects that we can just integrate to teach the GLOs.
Another fun and exciting one would be in grade 3, they investigate engineering and design. You might present a question saying, if I had a stack of books, what could support this stack of books? And so then they're going to investigate different shapes. They're going to use different materials. They might use lasagna pieces, spaghetti pieces. They might use boxes to try to see what could take on the weight of their design.
Just yesterday morning, we started off with these math manipulatives here. These are just toys, really, links. We had them sort them by color. So they got the colors, we got them to cooperate. There were no teams at that point, and then all of a sudden they started gravitating towards a color. They created their own teams, and then they had to assemble them, only one chain. And so some would hang on to some, and you had to cooperate, you had to give it up. Somebody had to give it up. They had to, in order for that chain to. That's the kind of thing that in pre-K that's just, it's such a wealth of information to draw from, to make your conclusions like, okay, this one needs to work on this. This one's doing very well over here. You adjust the curriculum accordingly, and of course you always have those benchmarks and goals in mind, but the flexibility really makes, I think many of the teachers are feeling the same way. We feel respected for the way that what we're bringing to the table.
Transition for me is really important because I feel like a child needs to be comfortable regardless of the situation, right? So there's always this stressful moment that children think, oh my gosh, I'm moving. I spent the whole year with this teacher, and now it's a new teacher, it's a new environment, I don't know what to expect. So one thing that I always do among teachers, we go over the student profile, we check their assessments, MAP scores, WIDA scores. Besides that, we always try to plan events and projects to combine classes. So we always have a publishing event. I always invite grade 4s or grade 2s to come join me so they can get to know me, they see the classroom, or even go into a different classroom. I always try to move my students to the physical space so they know what to expect. It's not going to be 100% new. They will feel like, okay, I've been here before, I'm confident to move on.
We also have the kids participating, going down to the cafeteria, eating with the rest of the kids. They go out on the playground and play just like the rest of the kids.
But one of the strongest things, I think, one of the best tools we have is a spreadsheet that gives us kind of an internal dialogue amongst teachers of pre-K and kindergarten.
They get to be familiar with the teachers in the school, and so they get really comfortable so that when they hit grade 1, they are feeling confident in themselves and that there's no fear in moving up in the grades.
Our leadership here at RAS, they are super supportive and they encourage teachers to plan for differentiation. So this is really good for a teacher because then we can accommodate using different techniques, different methods that we know about education. So the different learning styles can be actually effectively approached for us. So for instance, if a child likes to learn with a visual, I'm open to create more visuals for that child. Or if a child needs ELL support, we have other teachers collaborating with me and I can plan ahead and give them the effective activity or effective assignment and accommodate in order to make that child confident about their learning and also growing as much as possible.
Understanding that we belong to WASC, which is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. It's what guides us. What we do is we spend time making sure and ensuring that students are getting what is set out by the council to ensure that they're getting the correct education. So basically it's being accredited at the school is a statement to the broader community, and it lets the stakeholders know that we're a trustworthy school. And so the WASC helps us guide to ensure that they're getting the education that they've signed up for. And then the other part is professional development. And so what we've got going on at the school here is we know that with professional development, it has to be, teachers need to be intrinsically motivated and they know what they need to get better at. So we've partnered with EduSpark. It's a company out of Singapore, and what they've got is a bank of online professional development. And then teachers, based on what they want, they can pursue these particular little video clips, and you get a little certificate at the end. But what we want then is for teachers to take that information that they learned and then implement it into their classroom. Because professional development basically is wanting to have improvement within the classroom so that your students get a better education. If it's an opportunity to praise management, this is one of the best management I've ever worked with. This is some of the best teachers I've ever collaborated with. And so it really makes it, I think that's where Raffles really shines at the moment. You know, it's a very, very positive environment. I feel completely supported here. It's just a respect you don't really see. You don't really see it as much. It's not commonplace. And Raffles really has it here. I'm very, very happy that I'm in this environment.